World Healing Tour movement with your host, Noah Crane. Heal yourself, heal the world. Hi, this is Noah Crane. I'm excited to share this anthology book with you, The Grass Grows Where I Am. So just join us and be a part of this incredible book to help bring your message and influence into the world. We're excited to showcase what you do to make this world better. Click the link below. Hello, and welcome to the World Healing Tour podcast, where our mission is to help you heal yourself so you can heal the world. Hi, my name is Noah Crane. Each week, we will bring you tips and tools and inspire you to live your most empowered and joyful life. I'm also the author of the book, The Grass is Greenest Where I Am, because the grass is greenest where you are when you say so. When you choose to live in a place of no competition, no comparison, and no scarcity. When you choose to live in your own love and light and share your own unique gifts with the world, because we're all unique. There's no reason to ever compete with one another. And that's why it's called World Healing Tour, because when we heal ourselves, we truly create that ripple effect to help others heal as well, by sharing and caring and loving each other and coming together. Each week, I bring incredible guests into studio to pour into you and to help you on your journey. My guest today, I couldn't be more excited to showcase her and what she does to help people because I personally work with her. Rebecca Keselburg is a brand strategist that has a company called Inspiring Your Shine. Rebecca helps businesses and entrepreneurs build a strong identity to really stand out. She says that a brand is much more than just a logo or color. It's about creating a feeling in people that they will remember you. Her mission is to help you find your purpose and unique voice and connect to your audience and leave a lasting impact in your world, in our world, right? So Rebecca, welcome. I'm so excited to have you on the World Healing Tour podcast.
Thanks so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, and Rebecca, honestly, like as I said in the beginning, you're a very special person in my heart because you've done so much to help me build the World Healing Tour brand with everything that you do. I really couldn't do it without you. You created the logos and this coloring for me and so much stuff that the graphics and helped me plan events and do so much. And the fact that people will have an opportunity to see you work and work with you is really, really incredible because it really does take your life to the next level.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. And I think that it has been so exciting to have us work together. I feel like you've given me so much and I've given you so much. And I feel like one of the things that we wanted to get across today is how we can't build things in a vacuum by ourselves. We need each other and we complement each other. And each of us bringing our own gifts. And so I always think that's so beautiful. And I feel like you, Noah, and everything that you do, you're always bringing the collective together. You're always connecting people. You're always bringing people to the forefront and promoting them. And that is a beautiful gift that you give. And so I do want to appreciate you for that. So thank you so much. Yeah, I really am excited to talk about the topic today. It is going to be the focus of what I'm doing from here on till for I don't know, and that is on capitalizing on your calling. And I love that I've been able to be a part of helping you to do that in your life.
Absolutely. And why do you think it's important for us to capitalize on our calling?
Well, I think that we really, it's what we do best.
Mhm.
Whatever we're called to do, we're equipped to do. And so it is what we're magical at. And so many times in life, most of us know and realize this, but we just don't know how to get out of the rut. We're doing things that are misaligned. We're doing things for money in particular that are not lighting up our soul, that are not what we were supposed to be doing. And I believe that we can absolutely make money doing the things that we love. And I have proven that over and over by helping people to identify those things inside of them that they are meant to bring to this world, and then putting them into a tangible product, a tangible funnel, and helping them to make money doing what they are called to do.
Absolutely. And I know you love people. Let's start with
Mhm.
talking about that, like how important it is for our success to help others on the journey, as we said right in the beginning of this podcast, you know, because nobody can do this journey alone, right? And people need, people think they could do it all along, but then, they wonder why sometimes they're not able. Because entrepreneurship, let's put it this way, Rebecca, is a lonely journey. It's not
Mhm.
an easy journey. It's a lonely journey. There's a lot of things. You have to self-discipline yourself. You have to sit for hours working on project. There's a lot of distractions out there. It's
Mhm.
not easy. So I think it's so important to have someone along the line to love people, to want to work with people. And we all need people to keep us on track. Even if we're the smartest people in the world, nobody has become who they are on their own, you know?
Absolutely. I think that it's all about the reason why it feels so lonely as an entrepreneur, solopreneur, is because we are forging a new path. We're not just following the exact same thing for somebody else. It takes a lot of bravery and like you said, a lot of discipline. But in order for us to do that well, we definitely need to be supported by other people and other people's gifts. If we're trying to do everything by ourselves, it's only going to take us so far. Your energy only can go so far. What you know and understand and how you see the world can only go so far. And I think that a lot of times, especially when it comes to branding and bringing your brand essence to life, you need somebody else to mirror things back to you because you're so close to it that it's hard to get your message out there the way that you want to. And even me, who I'm brilliant at this, I'm so brilliant at being able to look at somebody, talk with somebody, bring things to life, put things into motion. When I'm trying to do it for myself, I find this big wall in front of me because we're not meant to do it alone. We need help. And even me with what I do. And there's a saying that says you can't use your superpower on yourself. And what we are meant to do, it is meant to serve other people. It is not meant to just serve ourselves. So even when I say capitalize on your calling, I don't mean just find a way to get money from other people. It is really about service at the heart of it. It's about what are we doing to serve other people well? And then we're going to be profiting from that, not only profiting in our soul because of how satisfying it is, but we're going to be profiting financially from helping other people, having a servant heart, and just wanting to help other people all the time. And I definitely in my business, I'm just blown away by the ways that I have profited by just simply helping people. And it feels
Yeah.
really good.
Absolutely. And the thing is that you hit on is that we all need reminders. Like, we no matter how great you are, how great you're doing, we need people to remind us. That's why when we see something and we resonate with it, we're like, "Oh, thank you for the reminder." Like we all need reminders like that mirror to show us how great we're doing because we judge ourselves. We get insecure. We have our own fears that come in, we question ourselves. And so we need those constant reminders.
Oh, yeah. So I can just tell a personal story for me. And I have been doing this for people and with people since about 2012. And actually, even before that, because I was in like network marketing, it was all about team building and you're successful when you help them be successful. And so I was doing versions of this and helping people to show up in their own unique light for many years before. But officially in 2012, I started Inspiring Your Shine. And the whole point was to help other people to shine. And so I've been doing that alongside another business, and it was a misaligned business, but it made me a lot of money. And I think a lot of people can understand that you go along a track because either it's what your parents wanted or what you just kind of fell into, and it just makes you a lot of money and gives you a lot of security. And so it gets you really stuck because it's hard to leave that and walk away and detach yourself in order to do other things. So I was always doing things in addition to, and I was hiring people even in my business to try to free up time to give me a chance to do what I love to do, what lit me up, what I knew that I was aligned to do. But I had so much fear of letting go of the security of that business that made me a really high income and gave us the lifestyle that we appreciated. And it wasn't just me that it impacted. My husband was afraid of me letting go. And so I remained stuck, and I did that business for 22 years. And then I finally found a way to get out of it and let go of that. After so much struggle, I was able to let go of it. And I should have just went full time into my business and trusted myself, but I was too afraid. And my husband was too afraid. And I ended up going and getting a job in doing things like this, but working for somebody else. And at first, I was excited because it was something different and I was learning. But then I realized that I was misaligned again. I had just taken myself out of one slavery to money and put myself in another place where I was basically a slave to money. And I was only there to make money because it certainly was not lighting me up. And so, the encouragement that I want to bring is on April 4th, I ended up leaving that situation. And I ended up leaving that situation without really any security or provision coming, where I don't really know exactly how all the money that I need to live the lifestyle that I want is going to come in. And so, as you can imagine, that activated a ton of fear inside of me. It activated fear in me and my husband, and he's reflecting his fear onto me. And I was on this like journey of just, I was basically freaking out because it was like, did I make the right decision? Am I just, is this crazy for me to put everything in on myself and what I know that I'm capable of, what is going to light me up? And it's so crazy to feel really happy because you're aligned and you know that this is what you're meant to do, and then also at the same time have to be dealing with all of the struggles of doubt around money and things like that. And so I really feel like fear can just keep us so small, and that is where I really needed to reach out for a support system. And of course, one of the support systems that I really needed to reach out for because of my faith is I needed to reach for God and really stand and believe on his promises for provision and his plans for me. And so that I would not be so afraid to just keep moving forward, even when I couldn't see how everything is going to work out yet, but knowing and believing that it will. And I believe that that is the big key to capitalizing on your calling is it's never going to be easy to step into it because of that fear of your greatness, that fear of, really believing in yourself. And because it isn't a job and there isn't any security really, or false security is what I feel like a lot of jobs are, then you are forging your own path. And so it can feel very terrifying and very alone. And so that's when we come back to who are the people in your life that are your support system. And Noah has definitely been that for me every single time. And anybody who knows Noah, it's like, you've got this, you're amazing, you can do this. And we all need that cheerleader in our life. And I also get to be that for other people. So it's just so exciting. And I'm really excited for what's ahead. And I'm excited to share my story of what comes out of it.
Yeah, it's incredible. I think that it's great because you actually experienced that and you went through that and you're coming out the other side of that, right? And just because you're here one point in life and then, your feelings make you feel a certain way to feel this way in life, you can always be here. You just have to connect back to that feeling of just knowing you're amazing and things are going to work out. Maybe they're not where you want them to be right now, but that's the journey. The journey is going to have obstacles, right? The journey is going to have growth. The
Always.
journey is going to have failures. It's going to have all those things. It's all part of the mess and the message and everything that we dig deeper. We have to continue digging deeper and deeper into who we are to figure that out. So I love that you shared that and just stepping into it, right? Not knowing exactly, just knowing that there's a lot of people out there that need to work with you and knowing that you have so much to give the world. I wanted to ask you, Rebecca, where did the name Inspire Your Shine came from?
Yeah, I really wanted to have, at the time I was still in network marketing and I was selling jewelry. And I was really looking for something that kind of bridged who I really felt like I was being called to be, which at that time was like a life coach and really just inspiring people, supporting people, helping them to step into their power. And so I found, after a lot of really just meditating around like what could that be, then God gave me that, and it's like this really original name that nobody else had, and it really encompasses who God created me to be, because that is what I do, is I help people to be inspired so that they can shine. And yeah, so it really is just like this perfect thing that it fit the bridge of what I was doing at the time, which that company went out of business. And so I'm so glad that I was already on to what I was truly meant to do. Even though it's taken me a long time to get fully here and to be only doing this, I just feel like it's something that just has fit all along the way. And it really describes who I am, what I do for people.
Yeah, I love the name. I think it's really, it's a bright name. It's very bright. The whole feeling, inspire your shine, and you
Yeah.
feel it. So I wanted to ask you, so how does somebody that's working for other people or in a corporate world, they know inside of them they're not satisfied. They know like, hey, there's something more for me in this world. I want to step. There's some people in that place, right, where they're not really happy. They're thinking there's something better for them, but they're so afraid to step out and look deeper within themselves. How do you help people, if somebody says they want to have a conversation with you, a consultation with you? What are the steps and what are the things that you can help them kind of bring out?
Yeah. I have a lot of tools, but I really love to always start with a conversation. And so, anybody that is interested in working with me and seeing what that's like, you always can go to inspiringyourshine.com. And right there, any of those buttons are like book a call, and you can get on my calendar and we can have like a 20-minute conversation, just getting to know one another. And just I can ask you and figure out like where you're kind of at and what you need right now, because some people are further along than others. Some people are completely clueless about what they really offer the world, and they need somebody to help them to bring that out, because every single one of us have something beautiful. One of the first things that I ever did once I started my Inspiring Your Shine businesses was I created a book called Seed of Power. And the whole point of that was to help people to understand that you, just like a seed, any kind of a seed, that when that is planted in the ground, it already is programmed to become what it was meant to be. And you're the same exact way. You are a seed designed in a particular way to bear fruit in this world in a way that nobody else can. And that's we're different from, the other kinds of seeds, because we're unique. We're so unique. And so I really like to give people tools. I have lots of free things that I have, lots of podcasts that I've created from the past that help people to step into those and understand. But when it comes to somebody who's really looking to capitalize on their calling, what I would like to do is have that initial call. Then we kind of take inventory. I kind of see where you're at and assess it. And then we will have another call. And during that call, once we decide to work together during that call, then I just ask a lot of questions, and I help you to just draw that out. And then from there, it just all starts to fall into place. This is my gift. I can see people and I can mirror it back to them and let them see what I'm seeing. And then I also have that ability to turn it into, okay, how can we capitalize on this? What kind of a funnel can we create? What kind of a program can we create? What is the way that you can show up in the world that's going to honor who you are and how you are? That doesn't mean you don't have to grow, because like we already talked about, that fear is always going to stop you. You're always going to have that voice in the back of your mind, the lie that says you're not enough, you don't matter. But that is a lie. We all matter. We all have something beautiful. And I really believe in the way that I see how all the online things work, and I know and understand what you need in place digitally, and what you need in place for your branding, for you to be able to bring forth a product that you can charge for. And so that is basically how I do it. It just kind of flows really fast. I usually can, like, have a 45-minute to an hour long call with somebody, and then I'm able to, bring back like this whole thing of like, this is how we can go about this. And then we, of course, work together to bring it to light.
Yeah, and that is really amazing that they can, that you can help them bring something that they don't really maybe don't even know how to do it and how to take the next step. Do you also help them with like, starting an LLC or things like that, or is just those things you just guide them in if they're just starting a new
Yeah, I
business?
could just tell them like where to
Uh-huh.
go. It's super simple. Like none of that really matters as much as you getting clear on like that what you are called to give the world, and let's figure out how to bring that to life. It could be, speaking, it could be a podcast, it could be like a program. It could be that you want to do something like coaching. It could be a book. It could be a course where you're teaching somebody and doing like group things that way. I mean, I've helped people who wanted to help people heal from loss, do a group. I helped Noah with getting started with her podcast. I have helped people who were influencers that taught about like how to be consistent at being a creator to make money, how to do Instagram. It was called the Real Instagram Formula. I've helped a woman who really just wanted to work with moms. And we were able to create something that really supported these moms who were really feeling like unfulfilled and weren't happy. And we needed to help them to lift their esteem. And I helped somebody who wanted to work with men in like the Trinidad area that are very disempowered. And so we created this program called Empowerment with MEN, in it big, and like, because it was for men and it was all about empowering the men again. And so there's just so many different things. And that is what I love about what I do is I'm very creative, and I have a lot of ideas, and I love to solve problems. And so all of that just comes together, and I get to just like ignite all of my superpowers all at once when I get to talk with somebody and really just bring that to life. And it's unique for every single person. And then, of course, what goes along with that is like how that brand comes into it. How are we going to create that visual identity, which we did a podcast about, which you might want to link here, is that brand identity to help people know and understand like what is involved in and what you need to kind of show up in a brand. So
Yeah, that's amazing. And is it a lot? Do they need a website like to be successful? Like, is that important in the beginning, or is that not
in the
something that you
beginning,
focus
not in
on
the
it?
beginning.
Okay.
There's a lot of different ways that we could do it. And, of course, it really depends on people's budgets and what they're working with. And sometimes we have to stretch that because, even like me, right now, I am just now getting restarted and relaunched because I had gone and went and got a job, and I kind of let things kind of lie. And so I'm essentially starting again. I do have a lot of assets and I have a lot of relationships that I've made, but I have to start again. And so, but I'm still investing in myself. And so sometimes people need to have a little bit of a realization. If you want to make money, you want to be in business, there are investments to be made of time and money. But there's always a way. And there's always a way to get going and get started. A website is really important for an online presence. So I don't want to say you don't need a website ever. I don't think that's true, because that is where, the big search engines always are going to rely on that. And you also want a hub to send people to. And so a website's very important. And so, you need your brand, eventually some kind of hub at first, and that could be different places, like I said, depending on where you're at. And then eventually we definitely would want a website, and we'd want to really start being intentional about how that website is set up so that it is speaking to the people that you want to talk to. And it also is like a house of keywords that represent what you're about and what your calling is. Because we don't want to build a website, a brand, anything that isn't in complete alignment with what we ultimately want to do. And that doesn't mean that you need to be like super niche and that's all that you can do. That is something that I think even in the beginning, when I first started working with people, what my passion was is taking people who were in network marketing that were very niche and like they had this one product to showcase, product or service. Then I really wanted to show them how let's brand you in a way that even if that changed, and that's one pillar of what you do, then it's okay because you still have a brand outside of that. So, that's what I really love to do is like encompass the fullness of who you are and what you're about, even things that you enjoy, that we would talk about how that shows up in your brand. If you're really into, like me, I love style. If you're really into style, then we can incorporate that into all of your overarching brand and how you're showing up and what people know and understand about you. So it's very cool because it's just so unique to the person.
Yeah, and they don't have to start like they can start like a business on the side. Like let's say they're working still in a corporation or they're not totally ready to jump into it. They can just start a little bit as a side business, right? And then grow it.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, and like I even was saying, that's what I did for so many years. I did it in addition to, and the point is, we want to help you to do things in a way that are very simple and make sense and build the right things for you, so that you can have that going and growing as you are looking at exiting your position. And so I definitely can speak to that because I've helped a lot of people to set themselves up for that. And then the other thing that I really feel like I offer that is special is I'm not just giving advice and services, but I also am doing ongoing coaching in a group setting, which it's creating community, but it also is like where you always know that you have a support, that you're here with people who are cheering you on, that are helping you to overcome when you get stuck. And I think that that is one of the things that's missing is there's a lot of people out there that offer services, and the company that I worked for, they offered services, but there wasn't that support for that mindset, for that fear that comes up, for when somebody is just really, hitting all of that hard stuff and they just want to quit. Who's there to help pick you up? And so that's where I think that because of my love of people, and that's exactly why you and I connect so well. No, we just love so deeply, and we feel the desire to help people and to like support them. And so that is also something that I offer with any of my packages and services. The things that I do is I offer that coaching piece as well, and it just creates a community because anyone who's a part of my world, then they have access to that. Then eventually that just gets bigger and bigger.
And Rebecca, who's like who do you love to work with? What's like your ideal customer clients that you love to work with?
Yeah, I would say I really love to work with the world changers, the healers of the world. And so many times those come in forms of somebody who is meant to be like a thought leader or a coach. They really want to create content and just share messages with people and help people through a process. I really feel like that is a lot of what I want to do. And so I would say I'm faith-based, so I really enjoy working with faith-based people that really do believe in God, and so that's really important just because I feel like then we're kind of talking the same language.
Hmm.
And so yeah, faith-based coaches or creators or
Does it matter which faith they are, or it doesn't matter as long as they're faith based?
yeah, no, as long as to me, as long as you just believe and understand that we're not just we're here for a purpose, that we're designed, that we have somebody, that God's looking out for us. I'm personally a Christian, but I don't feel like I'm judging anyone else in their beliefs. I feel like we all just have our own journey. And I would want people to just choose for themselves and let God show them what he is revealing about himself.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, yeah, no, that makes sense as long as you understand the language because they're also have a stronger faith in something bigger than themselves, and I understand that you could relate to them more that way. I was gonna ask you, I know you do so many things. Like for me, you've done a lot of graphics and a lot of planned events with me and all those kinds of things. You're very talented and very good on Canva, and you really bring out that creativity. I mean, you've designed my banners for the World Healing Tour. You're just very talented. You have a really good eye for color and for how to put things together. Why do you love to do that so much? And what does it mean to you, the colors that has to do with style and bringing out the person's, who they are really?
Yeah, I think I love style. I love shopping. I love, so I've always studied that kind of a thing, since I was little. And I mean, anything that has to do with creating like an aesthetic, I love, like decorating and, shopping, styling, all of that. So that's really fun for me. And so it just kind of comes innate because I've just spent so many hours and hours and hours like studying that kind of a thing. But when it comes to I love the challenge of, like I said, I love to be that kind of mirror where I can look at that person. And when you look at the things that I've created for other people, everything is very unique because it is a reflection of them, not me. My things have a particular look, and I use a lot of sunshine and yellows and oranges because that is what I feel like evokes my essence. With you, when we picked things for you, I chose that really deep green and gold, and with pops of white, and every once in a while we put black in there, but or some tan, but mostly that green has become like a signature thing for you with the
Mm,
pop of that gold because you are like that rich, deep, like it just feels cozy and but at the same time luxurious. And I feel like that is just really representing who you are and what you do bring because you're just like so generous and you're abundant in everything that you do. And I just felt like that those colors really represented that. And so a lot of times I'll talk with people and they'll tell me like what their favorite colors are, and sometimes people want to put things together that aren't aesthetically pleasing. I try my best to try to work with what they want, but I can tell you when I first wanted to create my brand, I wanted like a coral and this like bright green, and it didn't look good.
mm,
I was trying to make it like myself, and then I started working with a designer, and then she was the one that helped me to clarify like, no, if you want the sun, then let's do this. And then that was just like, yes, that's what I really want. And so that's what's great about working with somebody else because they can show you things that you would have never been able to think about on your own. Just like when you work with a stylist, if you've
mm.
ever worked with a stylist, they'll bring you things, even if you're great at shopping and you love it, they'll still bring things that you wouldn't have tried yourself and stretch you out of your comfort zone, which is really fun. And that's what, like, back to the whole thing of like, let's work together. All of us, we need to be working together. If you're not working with somebody, you need to partner with somebody to help bring out your best.
Yeah, you know what just came to me, Rebecca, is let's style you. Let's style you as you were talking, right? I wrote it
Yeah.
down. Because you
Yeah.
are you are a stylist. You're just
Yes.
styling them in another way. You're styling their business.
Yes, exactly. I've actually considered calling myself a brand stylist a lot of times, but the only reason I chose not to is because it wasn't like something people were searching for. And so like from an SEO perspective, I chose not to do that. But I really am. I am like a brand stylist. Even
Absolutely. Absolutely you are. I could talk from experience about that. You're
yeah.
definitely incredible and so versatile in what you do, with you've made workbooks for me and so many things that have helped me create the vision that I had, right? You helped bring it out and helped me really, put it in a way that made sense and in a way that people related to it and structured it and the beautiful colors and the beautiful graphics that you create. It really does feel like you're styling people. So, and I look at you just now, like on the, as were talking, I look behind you and I see the yellows, right? The pops and yellows behind you. And just like, and your whole aura just, it does tell style and the excitement you have when you talk about style. And I think that's exactly what you do. You're styling people with their brand, and with their vision and with their message. And that's incredible. You help them expand.
Yes, yes, absolutely. And I really do feel like sometimes those physical things help us to make that shift from that mental place that we're kind of stuck in a rut. When you make a physical change, either in your environment, in your style, you go get a new hairstyle, any of those physical changes, those can be a catalyst for you to get to that next level. So I have a lot of trainings and teachings that I teach people how to like step into that with making those easy little physical changes. But then also, I feel like it's really fun when you take somebody who has like something in their heart and they have this calling in their heart and they know that they have something, they can't exactly express it verbally all the time, or it maybe comes out in different ways. I love when I can take that and I can start putting tangible things to that. So we get them a logo, we get them their colors, we start creating a product, we create the website, we start creating all these tangible things, and they'll be like so excited because they're like, oh my goodness, I feel like legitimate, I feel professional, I
Mhm.
just feel like, you are making me look good, and so now I have more confidence to show up. And I just love that because that's what I'm here for, is to inspire your shine. I want to help you to be your best self. And so however I can do that. And that is where I had to choose this, because when I really realized that at the end of the day, we all need money, but what I need more than money is I need to fulfill this. This is what satisfies me.
Mhm.
And so that is why I ultimately had to go all in on my business and be doing this. And I also, there was one other thing that when we were talking that kind of came up that I wanted to remind people about, is that, some people feel like they don't know and understand how they can capture the essence of who they are in one thing. But when you were saying like, I have a lot of different things that I can do, but at the end of the day, a lot of that comes down to, I love to gather. And so whether I am, enjoying traveling, or I'm just looking and just understanding culture better, or I'm shopping and I'm looking and discovering, at the end of the day, it's all that skill set, and what I enjoy, what my kind of how I'm knitted together. I love to discover and gather. And then what I do once I discover and gather, like when I'm talking with somebody to build their brand, then I discover and gather, and then I like take that and I, you know, want to make something out of it. Just like when I travel, I want to share it. When I go shopping, I want to be able to reveal like that cute outfit and how I put it all together, or how I decorated my house, or so it's all me using the same giftings. It's just expressed in different ways. So I want to encourage people, and anyone who's listening, is that you have that too. There are certain things about you that it shows up consistently in every single thing that you choose to do. And so there is a fine thread there that I can help you to find.
Yeah, that is amazing. And not just that, Rebecca, you don't only do that, you also are there. You're almost like their right hand in a lot of way because you're so supportive. And even when I'm doing Zooms, right? Or, excuse me, or my World Healing Tour events, right? You're right alongside of me, making sure that everything gets done properly. When I do a Zoom and I have people on Zoom, you help me. You're there for support to make sure that I feel good about what I'm doing. So even if they're scared and it's like their first time doing something and they're not sure, or they don't think they have the technical skills, you have a lot of those skills that you can support people on. Of course, we pay for your time, but that's normal. You pay for anybody's time. But it's so cool to have that person that's willing to hold your hand when you try new things, doing new things that you're not familiar with, and to have that really makes a huge, impact on them and their lives.
Oh, absolutely. And I think that I try to be to other people what I need and what I would like to have. And so I want to be supported, and I don't want to feel alone. And I want to know that when I feel scared, that I can, look to people to help encourage me and to lift me up, and to know that I'm not alone, and to remind me of who I am. And I think that, again, that's the beauty of like this journey. We weren't meant to do it alone. That is why you have the healing tour, and it's now you're going to be starting the healing tour collective, because it's all about journeying together. And we are always better together. And that saying that is like, all ships will rise together. And it really is so true. Or I think, what is it? Together we are one. That's what Noah says. Together we are one.
WON.
Yes. Yes.
WON.
So
Together we are one.
true.
Yeah.
It's like those things that you've heard over and over and over. There's so much truth to them. And so we just want to encourage you, whoever is here when you're listening, You do not have to do it alone. There are lots of people here to help you. And even me, I have this business and I'm going to bringing in clients and stuff, but I already am gathering people that can help support me to make sure that your stuff gets done. And I'm here to help lead everything and I'm here to help support, but I don't have to do everything myself, you know? And so that is where we need to remember that. And I think that's a mistake that a lot of entrepreneurs make is they either try to do it all themselves because of budget or just because they don't know how to ask for help or get clear enough about what kind of help that they need. But we all need help.
100%. So, Rebecca, I know you have an incredible podcast that you're going to be starting again. You have about 80 episodes on it called, is it Inspire Your Shine?
Yep.
Same name? Yeah, let's
Yep.
talk a little bit about the podcast and,
Yeah.
what people can learn listening, tapping into the podcast.
Yeah. I started the podcast because I just had this heart to not let anyone who couldn't afford information, and working with me personally at the time, I was doing a lot of just coaching. If they couldn't afford that, I wanted them to still have that information because I want everyone to grow. And so the podcast was really like that source of that free resource and that place that they could just go and you can easily listen to a podcast while you're doing other things, which I appreciate and I love to do. I listen to podcasts all the time. I love Noah's podcast. She's had some incredible, inspiring guests on here. But I think that I really wanted to do the podcast because it was just easy. I love like what you're doing, and Podcast Junkies is the one that produces all your podcasts. I love what Ben does; it's just incredible. But I just liked the ease of podcasting that I could just turn on my microphone and I could just talk. But Noah has really inspired me that I want to do it on video. So I'm going to get there. I'm going to get there where I do it on video too, Noah. Unfortunately, I'm not close to the studio there in Florida, but I'll come and do an episode there at some point.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Podcast Junkies in Boca Raton in East Boca. They're amazing. So that's where I do my show. And it would be cool to do it in person, right?
Yes, very cool. It just feels so professional. But yeah, I love podcasting because it just is a chance to give that information that people can ingest and when they're doing other things and going on with their busy life.
Yeah, and let's talk about repurposing your material. Is that
Mhm.
something that you do too, right? To help people repurpose their
Oh
things?
yeah, I love that. And that's another thing that I just like love to do is like what can I do with this? I don't want anything to waste ever. I just feel like everything has value. So even the other day I had made some sweet potato mash and I did not want to waste it. There was like a lot left, so I turned it into bread. So I definitely always want to repurpose everything. And I used to be like a box collector because I always felt like this box is a nice box. It can have a better life doing something else. Like I can reuse this. So when it comes to people stuff, you can take that one podcast or that one piece of content, whatever it is, whether it's a blog, podcast, YouTube video, and we can completely repurpose it. We could turn, let's just say that it starts with a podcast. And this is how I used to do mine, is you start with a podcast. You can break it if you videotape it like Noah, then you automatically have a YouTube video, which you can turn into shorts. You can turn it into a blog. You can turn it into social media posts and little clips, and also like just word type posts. And you also could turn it into Pinterest pins and audio clips that you could do audio on the social media to like pull people in and want them to listen to the same thing. So when it comes to content, there's just so many things that you can do. You can then take that same thing, you can email it out to your list, you can put it on your website. Like it's just crazy endless. And this is where you need some help because it can take quite a bit of time to repurpose it all that way. But think about that. You make one piece of content, and especially when it comes to content over like advertising, is that you put it out there and it stays relevant. Little shorter time on social media, but if somebody decides they like you and they want to go and creep down your grid, then they're going to have a chance to come across it. But it stays out there. Like Pinterest pins, I am so into Pinterest right now, you guys. If you don't have a Pinterest strategy, definitely talk to me because I can help you set that up. Pinterest, it is a search engine and things will stay relevant on there for even up to years, potentially, more so than social media. And then, of course, your YouTube things stay there forever because it's a search engine. And so having a presence on YouTube, having a presence on Pinterest, as well as like the different social, and then of course your website, all of that counts and it all adds up. And so we look at all of these people that are very, very successful. It is because they were very consistent, and it over time it builds and builds and builds. And that content, which I love to create content, that content keeps working for you and working for you forever.
And also, this is the other thing they're doing, these really successful people. They are collaborating with other people.
Yeah.
Collaboration, you guys, is the key to success. If you want to get to the next step, collaborate with someone. Give them your stage. Get them on your podcast. Get them to work with you. Create things with them. Really, it's that community that when you can create a togetherness with each other and a trust with each other, that's where things really shift for both of you, and
Yeah.
you're just a step closer to where you want to be, because you've helped somebody else along the journey. So I just feel collaborations are just such key. And the older I get, I'm like all into collaborations. But we're going to take a quick commercial break from our sponsor, and we'll be right back with Rebecca Keselburg.
Hey everybody, my name is Lisa Ray. I'm a literary agent and I'm working with the media team here at The Grass Grows Where I Am, and we are so excited to bring you a co-author experience where you will grow your brand and your visibility. Click the link below and apply now for free, and we will see you inside the pages of The Grass Grows Where I Am.
And that is the anthology book that we are doing, The Grass Grows Where I Am. We have about 12 authors right now in the book. I think 12 right now. We just have a few more spots. The book is going to launch this year, September 13th, 2025. It's an incredible book based on 4 pillars: wisdom, worthiness, enlightenment, and resilience, strong resilience. And you get to write a 300-word chapter and share your message with others, and also brand back to you and to everything that you're doing. We have incredible people in this book that really want to showcase their work. They're collaborating with me to be able to bring their message out into the world. And I'm so excited that they're trusting in this and they know that we got them. We have a whole marketing team behind this book called The Grass Grows Where I Am, where they're helping build funnels for you and support you with this book, help to market, do book signings. I have the events that you will be speaking at the events if you decide to be part of the book. So this is just an incredible opportunity for the right person. Only very few spots left that wants to be a part of this anthology, The Grass Grows Where I Am. I just had to say something about that. And this was Lisa Ray, our publisher, that in the commercial break just now. So we are back with Rebecca Keselburg. Rebecca, welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I want to just say something about collaboration, and that especially when it comes to an asset like a book, it's so powerful because you have everybody kind of working toward getting, eyes on that and visibility. And so then it can be very successful, and then you can leverage that, success and that title of having a best-selling book. And it can really lead people to want to be a little more invested and interested in what you're doing. So I love what you're doing. Knowing you're bringing that opportunity for people is amazing.
Yeah, especially Rebecca, because the events are going to be on a monthly basis now, right? Starting in July, World Healing Tour Collective is a branch of World Healing Tour. It's going to be every single month. And so we have lots of opportunities, lots of stage, and lots of growth for businesses and community together, and those collaborations. So it's really an incredible opportunity for people to. I wish you would be in the book, Rebecca. I would love to have you in the book. You would be perfect fit, obviously. It's just such an amazing opportunity to really share your brand, what you're doing with the world, and get a lot more exposure. Because I'm going to be running so fast with this book moving forward, and I will, totally over deliver to everybody that's in it, because I love people and I love to create that impact together. And I believe like these are my people, like the people that are in the book, they're my people, they're supporting me. And so I'm always going to be supporting them. So it's the
Yes.
win-win that we all want in life. It's in expanding with others, and others will talk about you and you will talk about them, and you all help make a world of a lasting impact, a legacy. And that's what I think we should all be about. Rebecca, what do you think about legacy?
Oh my goodness. I think that really that's like it really does matter because we matter here at this time and what we have to bring for however long. We really truly make an impact and we make an impact that makes a ripple effect ongoing. And now I actually have the pleasure of being a grandmother. And so I really know and understand legacy and what that means and what that looks like. So it's just like it's like I want to make sure that I am doing every single thing that I can while I am here and stop wasting and time and spinning my wheels and being bound by fear and being enslaved and misaligned. Like it's time for us to just hold each other's hands and rise up and just break out and be who we were supposed to be so that when our time here is done, people will remember and we will have made an impact that made change in this world.
Yeah, 100%. And for me, it's so much bigger than myself. Like I'm not thinking of the legacy I'm thinking of like what can I leave in this world? What gift can I leave in this world that long after I'm here, it's still the gift that keeps on giving. Like
Yeah.
that's to me is legacy. And so for me, my book, the book we're going to write together, the World Healing Tour events, which hopefully will continue long after I'm gone, because I'll create those collaborations and that impact where other people can continue it, maybe even in other parts of the world. So spreading the message through the World Healing Tour podcast. So it's all things that I think of in terms of legacy. And of course, your grandkids are definitely a legacy. But it's definitely, it's like, how did you leave this world? Like, what kind of impact, what kind of light did you leave here? Because as we all know, this world needs a lot of light.
Absolutely. And it's just even the little things, you know. There was a little girl that lives near me and I was walking the other day and she's 9 years old and she creates these chalk drawings and these little games and stuff on the sidewalk on this path that everyone walks to get to the other path. And she's just 9 years old, but she does this and they always just are so fun and exciting to be like, oh, what has she made this time? Oh, how cute, you know, and like the little kids, or even I was walking with my niece and she like did it. My granddaughter will do different little things of it. And it just brings this little pleasure. She's 9 years old and she's bringing these little pleasures. But interestingly, I met her and her mother was also saying that she had felt discouraged because she'd been doing this and she would look out the window waiting for people to do her little path. And a lot of people would walk by and they weren't doing it. Obviously, they were older and things, but we were able to tell her, no, we do it, we've done it, we enjoy it, we appreciate you. And it just lit her up and it was so cute because I came by and she had done a new one. And it just is like those little bitty things that we don't even realize that we have this we are compelled and called to do something and we don't even really know why, but we just feel like we need to do it. Just every single day in our lives, just start paying attention to that call. Like, what are you called to do? Because that is those little pieces of light that you can do right now today to lift somebody up, to just bring light and to just help them to shine, especially like you said, when they're feeling a little down. So that's just something that's happened recently that's just really been touching my heart, just that little story. So,
Yeah, it's beautiful. And just bring a smile to people, right? Bring a smile because when you leave people feeling good, they want to be with you. They want to be around you. They want to get to know you, right? Be authentic. Be who you are. Don't try to pretend to be anybody else. And not everybody's going to like you, but love yourself. Love
mhm,
yourself. Don't listen to anybody. Love yourself enough to invest in yourself. Whatever
yeah,
it means, whether it's working with Rebecca, whether it's getting a great mentor, a great coach, take self-care of yourself. Whatever it is, don't reject yourself just
yeah,
because the world rejects you, because the world's going to reject you. It's going to reject everybody. The greatest people in the world have had their lives full of rejection and they rose above because they loved themselves and it continually had those strong roots that nobody was going to take that peace or that love away from them, even maybe momentarily, but they always came back to their roots. And so have those strong roots of love and compassion for yourself first,
yeah.
because and work with amazing people like Rebecca, because that's how you get yourself to the next level of you. So Rebecca, how can people connect with you, find you? Where do they go?
Yeah, just go to my website, inspiringyourshine.com, no spaces. And there's a big book a call. You can also kind of read a little more about me. You could I have courses on there that you could even purchase if you wanted. You could access my podcast there. So pretty much anything you would need, you'd find it there.
What are some of the courses you have?
I have a course called Authentically You, but it's like a life coaching in a box. I have it packaged more toward like network marketers, because I was that piece of like trying to help them to brand themselves. So that's kind of at the end, but it's a lot of mindset coaching. And then I have a brand identity lab, and that really is helping people to step into that, step by step, how to build that brand really quickly, and understanding why it matters. And then I have something called Social Profits Lab, and that really is for somebody who wanted to build organic traffic using Facebook. So
Okay, very cool. Very cool. All right. So can they also, so do they get in touch with you through your website? Is there a place, where do they book a Calendly
yeah,
call with
just
you?
right there,
On the website?
all the buttons say book a call. So
Oh,
it's pretty easy
perfect.
and it goes right to my calendar.
Nice and easy.
Yeah,
Rebecca, is there any last thing you want to say? I know the time went by really fast, but
yeah.
I want to give you a chance. We still have a few minutes. Anything else you want to say or add to this podcast?
Yeah, I mean, I guess just reiterating the fact that you are special, you are unique, that you do have something that the world needs, that they need the light that you bring. And there are people that are literally waiting on you to show up so that they can, get to their next level because you bring something that they have been yearning to hear and see and feel. And so I just want to encourage you to start showing up, getting visible. If there's anything that I can do to help you to start shining your light, that's obviously what I'm here for. But just no matter what, just remember how special you are, and that there's nobody else like you. There's never going to be anyone else like you, and that you really matter, and you really truly can capitalize on your calling. You really can. And so, what you bring into the world, you can also make money and provide for your family and align and have a life that you want and desire instead of feeling like you have to be enslaved to a job.
Yeah, that's great advice, Rebecca. And, there's no reason to suffer. They say suffering is optional. You don't have to suffer. You don't have to sit there competing, comparing. You
Mhm.
have it inside of you. You have your gifts. God gave you everything you need. You just maybe need someone to help you bring that, use your voice, bring your gifts out to the world, because you weren't meant to do that alone. So this is like a first. Rebecca is definitely the first step to take to be able to have that support and to explore more of what might be inside, or what you're passionate, or what you want to bring out that you may be afraid to do right now. So
Yeah.
definitely make sure you connect with Rebecca. Rebecca, this has been such a great conversation. I want to thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you so much, Noah. I really appreciate you. And I appreciate how you're just a magnet for amazing people and how you just are always gathering like interesting people, for us to learn from. So thanks so much.
Thank you so much. And I'm so grateful for our friendship. And, she does my newsletters, and she does beautiful. If anybody needs a newsletter, okay, she does the best newsletters. So if anybody needs somebody even to write an article or a newsletter for them or anything, she's so resourceful. So thank you, Rebecca, for everything you do for me. And of course, we continue to work together. So
Yeah.
I'm excited to share you with others, because I know what you've done for my brand and everything that you've done for me.
Thank you. Thank you. And same. I want other people to experience you and all the things that you bring. So we'll collaborate more and more.
I would love it. I would love it. I want to thank you today for joining. I want to thank you today for joining me on the World Healing Tour podcast. Until next time, remember to practice these three important elements. Number one, every day remember to connect to your gratitude and have a grateful heart. When you have a grateful heart, you connect more to positive feelings and positive emotions, and therefore draw more positive people, things, and experiences into your life. Number two, every day remember to ground in love and compassion. First, love and compassion for yourself, because it's really important to have that compassion for yourselves. And second, share that love and compassion with others, because we all want more love and compassion, but we will get so much more when we share it out. We'll get an abundance of love and compassion in return. And number three, remember, this journey is not alone. You're not supposed to do it alone. you are guided every day in your life. You just have to learn to be a good listener, because, you know, God, universe, higher power, whatever you want to call it, I call it God, is always there to guide you on your journey. Until next time, friends, have a beautiful week. Namaste.
Hi, I'm Chris Trammell. I'm the marketing director for The Grass Grows Where I Am, and we can't wait to work with you. And if being in this anthology book would make a difference for your brand, your visibility, and your profitability, click the link below and let's get you started. Can't wait to work with you.